Guys, I'm here at Kincer and I walked in the building. I'm looking for a guy and I think I found him over here. Enjoy. What's up, dude? I'm looking for somebody.
Hey,
is that
how
you?
we doing?
Are you the one that's waiting for me?
Yeah,
What's
how are
your name?
you?
What's your name?
Thomas Kincer. How are you doing?
What's up? Well, let's just start here. What's going on here?
Oh, this is our EV Bronco. We're trying out a new eye booster. It's not quite right just yet. We had another one on here and we just put this new one on and we got to machine a new mount for it to get the
So you're making
master.
like two or three things work together here.
Yeah. So this is just in prototype stage and electric booster. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that, guys.
Yep.
So this is EV.
EV, yeah, 100%
Wow.
EV.
What was the inspiration behind this? Just people said you couldn't do it, and you're like,
I mean, we did another one we had one at SEMA in 2021, a little blue Roadster, and it's kind of like a conversion. This is more purpose-built. It's a purpose-built chassis. It's independent front and rear, so 90 kilowatt hour battery pack, rack and pinion steering. It's got ABS sensors.
Cool, yeah. It's still kind of an old truck. You got your
you still got to get down to the rack, right? So the rack is down there. So
what's the rack? Is it just a?
So I don't know. It's something a little different. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something tells me there's gonna be a lot of secretive stuff.
Right.
Here. You're working on a lot of
I
stuff.
can't give it all
Okay,
away,
cool.
right?
And what year Bronco is this?
So this is a 76.
Okay. What'd you pull this out of? Are we allowed to know that? Or?
So this is all 100% new components. This is not a takeout of anything.
Okay.
Battery packs are all new. Motors are all new. Everything about it's 100% new.
That is cool. Well, this is really nice. Did you guys do the body as well? And
so
we got
the body prepped,
yeah.
and we had some painters down in Georgia paint it, and Matthew Morgan actually did our interior for us.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing this on his account.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the Bronco show or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Guys, it might have a fancy electric motor, but you still have your windshield wiper motors right
yeah,
there.
It's still electric though.
It's still, but it's also kind of raw.
It's raw.
That's cool.
Yep.
Wow, good job.
It don't get
Good
too
job,
far away from
Morgan.
it.
Yeah, right. That is cool. Now, what chassis? Did you have to build a special chassis?
Yeah, so it's a custom built chassis. Yeah.
One off right now, or?
No, it's a production item. We can see it over in final assembly. We have one over there in final right now. You can take a look at. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Well, this is really nice. Is this someone's?
No, this is ours. It's in house, just for prototyping and ongoing development.
Gotcha.
So when they get out into the field, we have one here. If anything ever happens, like we can actually reproduce what's going on in the field here with this one.
This is interesting. So it's already been debuted, but can anyone expect more from it, from your account or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we just crawl, walk, runs. We always do all of our products.
Okay.
Right. So we don't blast things out there and get it out there before it's actually done.
Yeah.
So really just trying to get this a slow roll on this, make sure it's 100%.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And that's just kind of how we roll. We've always done that.
Is that kind of what this facility is? Just
so you're in R&D right now.
R&D.
Yeah. So you're in the R&D building right now.
So is there stuff around here covered up we're not supposed to see?
Yeah, plenty of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see plenty of things covered up, right?
All right, yeah.
There might be something over in here that is not.
We're not supposed to talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, it might be 800 plus horsepower.
Okay.
We can't talk about.
Guys, there you go.
So.
And then you got two of these. That's cool.
Yeah, so we got some, OBS Ford stuff going on, right?
Where'd you guys get your start on the Fords? Was it the OBS or was it something like?
No, it was early Broncos.
Early Broncos.
Yeah, early Broncos. Yeah.
So that's kind of your sweet spot is the Broncos.
Yeah,
huh?
well, I always said, I wanted to exhaust all my effort in early Bronco before I moved to trucks. Yeah. So let's see if we can peek in here.
All right.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah. Uh-oh, might be a Godzilla in there.
Might
right?
be. I don't know.
So.
What's your thought on Godzilla versus, Coyote?
Honestly, I think Godzilla's great for the trucks.
Yeah, it's a truck motor.
It's a truck motor. I know the Coyote is too, for the F-150s, but really a 250, man, the Godzilla is a sweet spot.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I like that. When we get to the truck shop, I'll show you F-100 versus the F-250.
Okay.
One's got a Coyote, one's got a Godzilla.
Gotcha.
And the Coyote really fits the F-100 short bed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of lighter weight trucks, not pulling trailers.
Yeah.
F-250's got a gooseneck in it.
Yeah.
Pulling trailers, so it needs a Godzilla, right?
There you go. Yeah.
So, got one of our 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive conversions. This is another prototype.
Oh, okay.
I know this is actually a production item.
The frame is production item, but the whole collective is.
Yeah, it's a prototype thing we're doing right now. So
okay, very cool.
so we're pretty much ready to move on to the next phase with this. And
Man, we got a lot coming on Kincer,
Right,
huh?
yeah.
So we're gonna see a lot. That's cool, guys. Stick around and find out what this is. Head on over to Kincer for sure. Cool. You guys have separate buildings. What's the next building we're going to?
so if you want to go through production and go through final assembly, then I'll show you where the trucks roll out of final assembly
Okay.
into
And
the
we'll
truck
kinda go
shop.
backwards all
Yep.
the way to the.
We're actually going to go the correct direction.
Oh,
so
okay,
we're going to start with flat sheet metal, go all the way through to final production, over to the truck shop.
All right, we're at the next building. What's this one?
So you're at the very beginning of the process. It's a fab shop.
Okay.
So you have your raw steel, your flat metal, everything rolls in through here. Come on through. You have your fiber laser table,
Okay.
cut all the flat patterns out, and for instance, they'll get cut out, then they'll go to the CNC press brake
There it is.
and turn out you got radius arms, link bars, you got your sub-assembly welding stations,
Okay.
press brakes.
You do a little bit of everything here. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, literally from R&D, right? From R&D, like say we got a project going on.
Yeah.
From R&D, they can fast track to the laser, to the press brake, to a welding station. I can literally have parts in the same day in R&D.
That's cool. Right there.
Yeah. Different welding stations,
Yeah.
frame rails for Bronco. You have a checking fixture here
Okay.
that checks it, and they actually cut them to length and put all the steering bungs and everything in here, transmission mounts. Then over here we built all of our own axle housings. So axle housings get built here. You can actually see the fixtures like the welding the tubes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? Make sure everything's straight.
What do you base them off of? I assume 9-inch.
Yeah, it's all 9-inch stuff. Yeah, yeah. And so like flow buggies for the suspension carts, and the
Okay.
more flow buggies. This stuff here is going back out to sandblast and powder. This one here must be a redo for some reason. It's powder coated,
Yeah.
So must have got.
Yeah, those are
not
clean
past-
welds, brother. I don't know what's wrong with it, but wow.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah.
It's something's
You gotta
wrong
make
with
sure
it.
it's right before
Yeah.
it goes.
Got a little project going on here with a Dana 60 and some unit
Nice.
bearings. Yep.
Very
So
cool.
this is a suspension station for Bronco frames. I even got a new Bronco tub sitting here. That's for my customer. Just
Yeah.
third members.
Do you use what like body parts and everything like that? Do you recommend for the Ford trucks or even the Broncos? Like, what company do you use?
For body carts?
Well, you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure you got
for the
this from
parts?
Dennis or maybe something
Yeah,
like that.
so we use Dennis as much as possible.
Yeah.
They're just a great company to work with. If you ever have issues, just pick up the phone, call them,
Wow.
and they always resolve an issue. But they're consistent. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. If you get a consistent part, you can always work with that. If you get a part in and it's part A today, you get it next week and it's part C, it doesn't fit in the fixture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just makes life hard. So
Yeah.
getting the consistent part is worth its weight in gold. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
So.
All right.
So you have. This is just more just like inventory.
Yeah.
Axle shafts, wheelwood brakes. You got final. Stuff comes up from powder coat,
Okay.
ready to go back into the final assembly, into the diff room to be built out.
All right. I'm guessing this is the diff room.
It is. This is the diff room. It's actually like a bomb went off in here, right, Cody?
Well, you guys are rushing before Granddads.
Well, we
and something
are,
like
yeah.
that?
It's a mess. But normally it's not like this. I think they've been thrashing a little bit.
I'm pretty sure people can agree with me. This is pretty clean.
But you can normally this is what it normally kind of looks like. Sub-assemblies.
Gotcha.
Everything's in its place.
Yeah.
Cody's really particular about that. So
That's good. That's good. I mean, come on, look at the tool thing. You guys have little spaces for everything. So
yeah,
organized.
Right now
It's
are
key.
little-
It's key. But I just meant, no one does this, which is good.
yeah, kind of
Gotta keep it clean. You know?
So again, that's diff room. This is sub-assembly. So you have all your suspension parts, right? Everything's powder coated. That's going to go back on final assembly. But these guys in here have work instructions they pull up on the computer. They'll get their work orders out here to build the parts, right?
Cool.
And when they get their parts, everything gets assembled. Like this radiator gets built and QC'd, and Calvin is our QC guy.
Okay.
And that's all he does is QC. It's his sole job in life.
It's a quality check, meaning if you ship it, make sure it bolts together first before you send it off to the guy that finds out it doesn't bolt together.
And really our motto here is like, I'm not going to ship out a tank unassembled or a radiator unassembled. When you receive a part from us, it's going to be completely assembled as much as possible. Okay. For instance, like this gas tank, right? It gets pressure tested twice, right? Wow. It's got a gas tank number stamped, it's build date, built by QC, and this travels with it. It's pressure tested once after it's welded and once after it's assembled.
That is cool. This is some pretty like proficient stuff you guys do here.
So we have shop instructions and then we have customer instructions as well. So this is like a little hardware kit. Is all it is, right? Tells you exactly what bin it's in, and you see our bins up here, right? And all that's going to reference on these numbers, right?
Oh wow, that's
so.
Dude, organization. Look at that.
Yeah. It's ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Ongoing.
Very cool. This is like a dream shop, man. Just all these frames and suspensions everywhere. It's amazing. So what's this room? So
this is final assembly. 69 Ford truck F250, 4-door. It's a 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive conversion.
Do you guys do 2-wheel drive as well, or you guys try to stick to the 4-wheel
just 4-wheel drive? Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if I can spell 2-wheel drive, right?
Kind of I assume you guys on 4-wheel drive guys don't venture too far into some of that 4-wheel drive that's more of like IFS or.
Yeah, so I mean, IFS is going to be in your EV stuff, right?
Okay.
So this is the EV chassis, right? So.
And this is kind of what was under the Bronco?
This is exactly what's under the Bronco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So your independent front and rear, and then you have your semi-active electronic shocks.
Okay.
So this updates every 6 to 10 milliseconds depending on pitch and roll and how you have your dampening set as well.
So this is the rack and pinion electric. What are these out of?
We'll talk about that another day.
You guys are always working on stuff. You got to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, you got a visual on it there.
Well, guys, definitely check out Kincer to get some details.
Let's look at one other thing. We found a black light. There we go. Let's see if this one's. Yeah. So this is a complete powertrain, a Bronco powertrain. You can see you have a blue and a red mark, right? So everything is marked.
And why? Just to.
So the blue is the initial installer.
Yeah.
And the red is the QC guy.
So checking torque specs and.
Yep. And then the customer will actually get a table of contents, right? This starts all the way back. So this is the frame itself. So the first thing we do is, we inspect the powder coat because you don't want to work on something that's got bad powder coat. So we actually check the thickness of the powder coat before we start assembling on it.
Wow.
So that gets QC'd as well. You have all your torque specs, the bolt used, the wrench used, if it gets Loctite, if it's blue or red, if it gets no Loctite. And it just flows through the
Look
whole.
at all those signatures. And then, like you said.
The blue is the installer, red is the QC guy, right?
Very cool.
All right. So all the way through, this is powertrain prep, station 4. And then you have your warranty, your 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty on all your. So we take pictures of all your QR codes, right? Then the install. And this is your axle assembly of the diff room.
And
right?
every person gets this.
Every person gets this. This is even from the fab department.
Wow. So
they're checking the widths of the the actual mounts, right? And there's tolerances for all that. So all that's why I was saying that one that's powder coated. Somehow it slipped through.
Yeah.
And it had to go back, right? Because it didn't meet check.
That's part of the process.
It really should have got caught before it got powder coated.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all human. It's just we have these QCs for.
But that's also why you have that in place.
Right. Exactly.
That's so cool.
So fuel tank, right?
Wow.
And we keep all this.
It's like a novel. I love it.
It is. Yep. And there's the base frame when the frame's built. And this is your QC. We hold an 1/8" tolerance over 12.5 feet. Over all the body mounts. So it's the QC section for that. And then you do it again. This is all the suspension going on. And then this is another QC after all the suspension's welded on. We QC that again.
Wow, holy cow, dude.
And then this is how we square everything up. And the customer gets all the notes so they can actually check it themselves if they, you know. And then this is the box contents. So this box 1 has all this product in it, then box 2, 3, 4, and 5 that ship out to the customer.
Where to look for what they're
exactly.
looking for.
Yep.
Wow. Jeez,
And then,
dude, that's
and then we
epic.
have the original copies on file here.
Yeah.
So if this chassis ever gets sold to anyone or changes hands,
They have it.
they have the data plate on the side of the frame. It's a licensed Ford product.
Wow.
And it's actually on the engine perch as well, the KC number. This is KC 1704.
Gotcha.
That's on the engine perch. If the data plate ever gets removed, we can still find out what chassis this is.
That is cool, dude. Holy cow.
So everything has the QC
Even the-
marks,
even
right?
the
Even
brake
even the brake
Wow.
lines, right? You know,
Fuel lines,
and
that's wild.
and everything's pressure tested as well, right?
Wow.
So
That's cool, dude. Jeez.
so you can see leak tested. All the fuel lines are all leak tested. All the brake lines are leak tested. So you go to do startup, you're not chasing fuel leaks. You're not chasing
Yeah.
you know brake line leaks.
It's nice that you're going into it with all of these checks and all the notes about what
Right.
everything you've done so that, yeah, it's ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing, dude. Holy
Yep.
cow. Very
And,
cool.
and that's the same for our truck chassis as well. I mean, I know it's a Bronco, but trucks
Right.
get the same thing. And we can walk over and see trucks if you want.
Yeah, sure. I want to ask you real quick.
Yep.
How'd you get into this? What was the purpose of getting
Just a
into
hobby.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
started out with Broncos?
Yeah, I started out with Broncos. I had a Bronco, and it's just four-wheeling and, you know, playing, having fun. And I was a PLC programmer and done automation stuff in the industrial world. So,
Is
you know.
that where you kind of got the real attention to detail that I'm seeing here on the processes that you guys have? Or is that something you've learned over time?
I know I'm, you know, attention to detail, but I have a lot of great people here helping me do this.
So it's like a team thing.
It's a
isn't it?
team thing,
That's
right?
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
not one person come up with all this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's everyone here.
It's okay. It's your wife. It's fine.
Yeah, it's right. It's
Yeah,
Emily.
it's
She's
all
got
right.
it.
Yeah, we get it. That's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go to the next building, man.
All right, good deal. Yeah, it just comes right over here, and
Okay, so he brought me over to this truck. It looks like a normal truck. What's the difference here?
yeah, so this is a little like beta test vehicle. You know, it's a little sleeper, but
Sleeper?
yeah.
Oh snap! Look at that.
So this started off as a Gen 4 engine,
Really?
and it got converted to a Gen 3, and this is the actual, you know, which Gen 3X is now out, you know, available from Ford Performance. But
What's
this,
the difference? Yeah.
So Gen 4 had dual throttle bodies from the factory,
Okay.
and they're not tunable, right?
Is that the kicker between the two now?
It is, yeah. So Gen 4, you can buy that as a crate package from Ford Performance, but it's the PCM's locked. It's just what it is
Okay.
at that point, right? So Gen 3 is a thing of the past. So Gen 4X is basically taking a Gen 4 and converting it back to a Gen 3.
Okay. Wow.
So now you got single throttle body, you have a tunable PCM, and this one's just kind of put in here just as a beta test truck, not to look pretty, but to be functional. To get all the programming and everything done for that, and working with Ford Performance. So
That's cool.
this is how the Gen 4X was developed.
You know, when we walked up here, you said something about keeping it alive. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
By
so,
just-
I mean,
since it's locked, it's about.
Yeah, so you know, with the mandates, you know, and everything, the PCMs are getting locked down over the air updates and all these things. So it's getting harder and harder for the aftermarket, you know, in general, to have tunable vehicles. So this, you know, working with Ford Performance, this is one way to help keep that alive.
Wow, this is amazing.
For the guys at home wanting to do a swap with a new engine, right?
So a Gen 4X.
Yes.
What horsepower and torque are we talking?
They're still claiming 460, the same as a Gen 3, but you know, it might be a little more. So
That's cool. And you said that you sent this to.
yeah, so this actually
for
went
tuning?
to Ford Performance as a beta test vehicle, and they had it for several months doing the tuning on it. And this is how the Gen 4X control pack and platform was developed.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's pretty
Yep.
cool, dude. Okay. Wow, this is really cool. You do some really cool stuff here.
Well, thank
This
you.
is awesome, man. Is there any other trucks you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can look at this little blue one in here if you want. It's been a two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion.
Cool.
And for trucks start here,
Yeah.
and then they end back up here. So what'll happen is, like, a truck will get disassembled.
You get a plan.
Right, the chassis goes over there. It gets modded in the fab department, and it goes through that whole process over there, and then it rolls back over here. And while they're doing that, they're like installing air conditioning and doing all the things. And we don't take on just any build. Really, what we want, we're not an interior shop, we're not a paint shop, right? So we really want to work with the right customer that has a nice truck that has original paint, or maybe they've already painted it, but they want to do a conversion, right? So, for instance, like this blue one, already had a nice paint job, but it was 2-wheel drive. It had interior in it already, and then we did the conversion, make the whole chassis, and then this one's got a Coyote in it.
So you work with companies. Like for example, interior maybe but your main thing is, hey, we'll put a frame underneath it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
That's kind of your sweet spot.
That is our sweet spot. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And this truck over here was originally a 78 4x4 originally, but we did a long arm conversion, because it was leaf spring, and did a coilover conversion in the front.
This thing is clean.
And this has the Godzilla 10R140 and a Super Duty transfer case with push button controller and everything.
Wow, that's amazing. Sweet. Holy cow.
And then you have more OE looking, right?
So what have you done in this? Is this more rear axles? Or?
This is a 2-wheel drive. It's a 4-wheel drive conversion. Just like stock interior. It's got AC,
It rides nicer and it's probably more functional, but it's still an old truck.
Right, exactly. I mean, you could just hop in this, take it on a road trip. Godzilla.
Man, where are you sourcing your Godzilla? Are you buying the crates? Or
so we're a Ford Performance dealer.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So they're good to contact for people that are interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this is clean. I still smell like the plastic.
The
new rubber and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At what point were you starting to get into the Ford trucks when you were really into the Broncos in regards to Kincer in the business? And stuff?
Ford trucks. I mean, really, we're playing like with the EV stuff on the Broncos, and then like we're still playing with that as well, but just kind of refining it.
Okay.
But I was kind of like, well, we're to our end of Broncos. Like, we've done this EV, and we might have something else coming out with Broncos, but we'll leave that for another day.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot to be left for another day.
But trucks, I mean, I grew up in a '77 F250 truck with my dad.
Right here,
and a 70, well, it's actually a 72 F350 dually that my dad had. So I kind of went back and forth in those two trucks growing up. So I have I love the dent sides. I mean, I love a bump side, but I really remember that 77 more than I do the bump side, so.
What do you have, either Bronco or truck-wise?
So Broncos.
Builds,
The EV. My wife's got a 73 with a R2.8 Cummins diesel in it with a 6-speed. I've got another Bronco that we won't talk about what engine's in it.
I love all the hooks here. It's all these wonderful things.
I'll say it's a 427, right? That's all I'll say.
All right, cool.
But it's got like 19 inches of wheel travel in the rear and 16 inches of wheel travel in the front.
Wow.
That one's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
So we've got, got different ones around.
Your choice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So is this all of the buildings, or what's next? Or
so we have another building we call it's on the water, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like where all the bulk inventory and things like that are kept.
Gotcha.
So
That's cool.
we keep other builds down there, like, because we don't want to like clog this up too much. So we kind of rotate things in and out. It's more like a storage facility.
Well, awesome, man. So I feel like a lot of people know Kincer, but those who don't, I'm always surprised by how much people don't know. Where can people find you? How do they reach you?
So kincerchassis.com and 865-297-3848. 865-297-3478. There we go. Yeah.
So they can not only contact you about chassis, but suspensions, Broncos, Fords, EV. Godzillas.
And I guess the biggest thing too about our products, right? Like if you go on our website, you're not going to find hardly any of our products. We're, like I say, we kind of like, it's been referred to as like the secret menu at the In-N-Out Burger, right?
Okay.
So we really do not push products out if we don't have it fully like vetted. And at that point, like what's happened over the years is we've become so busy, right? Just that it hasn't ended up on the website, right? So no one really knows about it, but you can get like everything from fuel tank to exhaust to complete powertrain packages in a crate, ready to drop into your, your Bronco or your truck.
Wow.
And all the shifters, everything just made to work together instead of like buying a part and piece over here and here. It's all made to work together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really impressed with your guys' process and everything that you guys do for quality. What is the most enjoyable part of Kincer and running the business and everything?
Oh, waking up and coming here every day.
Isn't that cool? You get to walk around all this cool
I never
stuff
ever say that I'm coming to work. I'm always going to the shop, right? So
I'm going to work, but
I always say I'm going to the shop,
That's cool, that's cool.
I get to come here and work with these guys. So,
there you go. Yeah.
I mean,
well, hey, thank you for your time. I know you guys are getting ready for the Grand Nationals. I really appreciate it. And guys, go check out Kincer. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.